Hi everyone, Life DIY Josie here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have easy DIY zero waste organizers. First, I'm going to be using this packaging material. It's a box packaging for bottled tea. I'm going to be making an easy organizer for hot drinks that you can use anywhere around the house. This is especially useful for small spaces like in a dorm room. I'm also going to be using this packaging material for my ring floodlights that I used outdoors. But I'm going to be cutting this. There are these two identical sections that I can use to separate things in that organizer that I am creating for my hot drinks. So I'm just cutting them. I'm planning on using one for my coffee sachets and the other one for my tea bags. And this one is where things were packed for cords and adapter or extensions. So this organizer will not need any special tool except for my scissors. So I'm going to be putting those two compartments and I'm just going to be showing you how I'm going to be arranging it. What's good about this not being glued or attached permanently is that I can change it anytime, or I can even lift the internal subdividers so that I can also use them individually if need be, or if I have to remove them. The good thing about not being attached is the ease of reconfiguring also and ease of rearranging things. Now, since the bottom of this boxes, as you can see, has a hole or a round hole or a circle, I am going to be cutting a square that will fit inside just to block that circle or round opening, because I'm going to be putting my sachet drinks there and it may fall through the hole. So I'm just going to do them on both boxes just in case I would prefer the elongated sachets rather than the tea bags to put different flavors in each box. So at least I already have the bottom. You can put an adhesive here to attach it permanently. As I said, I don't really need any extra tool except for my scissors, so I don't even need to put a tape or hot glue that bottom, because I just want it to be as simple as possible. So here are the instant coffee that comes in a sachet, and here are my tea bags. They fit perfectly the height of the sachet coffee and then the width of the tea bags. I am trimming to size this piece here. This used to house the USB cord used for recharging the outdoor Ring cameras. So I am going to be cutting it to size to the same height and width that fits snugly in the space behind one of the boxes, the box that contained the sachet coffee. As you can see, it fits snugly here like it's a perfect fit. Well, almost. And it will also fit my stirrers, my wooden stirrers for mixing my hot drinks. As you can see, there's still enough space for more stirrers as well as for more coffee sachets and tea bags. I'm just using enough for demonstration purposes. I'm also going to make another container or compartment for some sachet sugar and creamer. So I am going to be moving the cups to this corner here and also the lids for the cups. And I'm going to be using this space here to put another small box. Another upcycling or zero waste DIY by using this empty packaging box. I am going to be marking the height of this box here, and I'm going to be cutting it to that height. Since the sachets for the creamers and also for the sugars are shorter than the tea bags and the coffee and stirrers, this will be shorter than the other three boxes so that they will be in easy reach. So I am going to be placing it here, and I'm going to be cutting again a small piece of cardboard to put at the bottom to reinforce the bottom. Again, you can use adhesive tape or double-sided tape or even glue to put this in place more permanently, but putting it there snugly is fine as well. It just reinforces the bottom so that it will not unravel. And I'm just gonna be placing my sugar here for now, but again, it will also fit some of the creamers if need be. And this small personal hot drink station is finished. Like I said earlier, it's perfect for small spaces. If you have a guest room and you're expecting guests, you can also set it up with an electric kettle like the one shown on this photo. Now, another problem that I want to solve is this. Oftentimes, when I open the refrigerator, things on this side here, on the shelf, often topples, especially this big or tall tube that I have that is a container to insulate my insulin when I travel. But I always keep it there just in case I leave the house. It's for on-the-go insulin. So I have this packaging material that I have kept, and I believe this has contained a bottle, and it is the perfect size for this tube or insulated tube for my insulin. So instead of me throwing this away and buying another organizer, I am just reusing what I have on hand. And what's good about this one is made of styrofoam, and it's soft, and it's not going to scratch the surface of my refrigerator. And another thing is it's not gonna break. So even if the tube or insulated tube for my insulin is heavy and tall, it's not gonna break it. So these are also my insulin bottles. So I often keep at least 3 inside this small container. It's a food container, but I think that the space here in the front, as you can see, this organizer is divided, and it has this rectangular space that I can fit 3 to 4 bottles of insulin, so that when I need to take my insulin every day, I can just pull it out there, and then when I travel, I can have that insulated insulin container or tube, and I can just put it there along with my syringes. So that solves the problem of it toppling. See here, I'm moving the refrigerator door to show you that it doesn't topple anymore, and it's just snug there and it fits perfectly. So I didn't even have to DIY. I just want to reuse the packaging material as is, and it made sense. It's just perfect, and I know not everyone will have the same issue. I'm just showing you how I solve my problems when it comes to these dilemmas that I have every day without spending any money and without throwing anything into the landfill to add to the problems of our environment. This next DIY, I'm going to be using this empty canola oil bottle. This is a plastic bottle, and some of you may not have the tools like the heating tool. I do have one, but I'll show you what you can do if you do not have a cutting or heat tool. Well, you can use your box cutter like this one. It's a X-Acto knife, and I just turned on our gas stove. If you don't have a gas stove, you can use a lighter or a candle, and you can just use and heat it up on the flame. And then I'm just going to be slicing through around where there's an indentation or line around. I'm keeping the wrapper for now so that it will be my guide when I'm cutting through to cut the top portion, because I'm going to be using the bottom portion as another organizer. So it's just gonna be a little bit of work. It took me a while to get the hang of it, but once you get the hang of it, you can cut this without any issues. So what I'm showing here is that whatever you have, if you don't even have an X-Acto knife, you can have a sharp knife. I think every household has a knife at least to cut, and you can use that as well. Just hit the tip to cut through plastics cleanly. You can also use a pair of scissors without the heat gun or heat tool. However, it's better if you have a clean cut like this one here. Now, I just washed this with soap and warm water, and I'm now drying it with some napkins. I'm using the adhesive tape or clear packing tapes to cover and offer protection on those sharp edges of the cut bottles because they're sharp that you can have cuts, and it's for precautionary measure as well. So do not forget this step. This is an important step, that you cover whatever sharp edges you have with this clear packing tape. You can also use washi tapes or any masking tapes that will adhere permanently, because I'm going to be using this inside the refrigerator. Other tape materials may not stay because of the humidity inside the refrigerator. You may want to use something like this packaging material tape or packing tapes because they can stay on. I'm running my fingers through around the perimeter to ensure that the tape adheres securely. So I'm going to be placing here my aloe lotions, and oftentimes when I open and close the refrigerator door, they topple over. I'm finally able to corral them using this DIY no frills, zero cost, zero waste upcycling. And I like that it fits perfectly in this corner here as well. And even when I close the refrigerator several times, it will not topple over, or it will not fall off, or it will not be messy, and I can maximize the use of my shelf inside the refrigerator. So that's another free organizer for you if you have empty cooking oil bottles. Speaking of empty cooking oil bottles, here's another one, and I'm just using the same technique, and I'm cutting the top, but I'm leaving at least an inch or half an inch that is still connected, because I'm not gonna separate the two parts where I cut through. And I'm gonna be wrapping again using my packing tapes around on top of the edges to protect my fingers or anyone who's going to be using this. So both sides or both portions, the bottom portion and the top portion, I will be also wrapping with this clear packing tapes for extra protections from cuts. I was going to leave this label here because it's perfect for what I'm going to be putting it here. It says heart healthy, but I just realized that maybe I shouldn't, so I just ripped it off and just left some kind of white paper there, and then I can just mark it off next time. But then I'm just going to continue finishing wrapping this sharp edges with the packing tapes. Now that I'm satisfied that I wrapped every space that has a sharp edge, I am now placing this green onions or the onion leaves, the bulbs, and I'm gonna keep them inside. You can use this also for stalks of asparagus or beans or anything tall, but I like to use this for these green onions with the roots at the bottom, and I can keep them secure, and I can grow them inside the refrigerator as well. Have you tried growing onions inside a refrigerator? I never thought it worked, but it did. And that keeps also those fruit flies or those small flies away. So I just placed a little bit of water there, about maybe 1/4 cup of water at the bottom. And keeping this as a topper can allow for the growth on the top as well for height, for additional height. So I'm placing it here again. You can place it anywhere in the refrigerator, but best to put it on the shelf, on one of the door shelves of the refrigerator. So I'm just placing it here since I've been working on this shelf. That's it for now. Thanks for joining me here today. I'm really glad that you're here to join me for yet another collection of simple, easy, no frills, zero waste DIYs. I love upcycling, and I'm glad, judging from the comments that I have been reading from my previous upcycling videos that I have been uploading here in my channel, that a lot of you also want to do that rather than spend money on organizers. I'd like to thank all of you once again, and I hope that I'll see you again on the next video. Take care and God bless. Bye bye.